You've seen him, the man who walks into a room and owns it, not with arrogance but with quiet power. His words carry weight, his decisions shape outcomes. He's not chasing approval, he's chasing purpose. That's the psychology of the king, a mindset Carl Jung, the titan of psychology, illuminated through his archetypes. Welcome to Valoric. Today, we're diving into Jung's wisdom to uncover 5 psychological principles that forge a king's mind, a mind that thinks with power, clarity, and purpose. This isn't about crowns or thrones, it's about mastering yourself to lead your life and others. By the end, you'll know how to think like a king, not a pawn. Let's begin. Jung's archetype of the king represents order, authority, and responsibility. It's the part of you that takes charge, not just of others, but of your own chaos. A king's psychology isn't about dominating, it's about integrating your mind's depths to act with intention. Weak men drift, swayed by emotions or others' opinions. Kings decide. They align their thoughts with their purpose. Let's break down how to build that mindset. Principle 1. Own your shadow. Jung taught that every man has a shadow, the hidden, darker parts of his psyche. Anger, envy, fear, lust. These aren't flaws to bury. They're fuel to harness. A weak man denies his shadow, pretending he's all virtue. He's lying to himself, and others smell that weakness. A king faces his shadow head-on. He knows his urges, his triggers, his flaws. He doesn't let them rule him. He uses them. How? Start by reflecting. Write down a moment you lost control. Maybe you snapped in anger or chased a woman's approval. What drove you? Fear? Insecurity? Name it. That's your shadow talking. Once you see it, you can tame it. A 2018 study on emotional regulation showed self-awareness cuts impulsive reactions by 40%. When you own your shadow, you stop reacting like a boy. You respond like a king, with clarity and power. Principle 2. Cultivate your vision. A king doesn't stumble through life. He moves toward a purpose. Jung believed the psyche craves meaning, and without it, you're lost. Weak men live for fleeting pleasures, likes, hookups, distractions. A king lives for a vision bigger than himself. What's yours? It could be building a business, raising a family, or mastering a craft. Define it. Make it vivid. Picture it daily. Jung's work on individuation, becoming your true self, stresses aligning your actions with a higher goal. In a 2020 study, people with clear long-term goals reported 25% higher life satisfaction. Write your vision down. Break it into steps. If it's a business, outline your first product. If it's fitness, set a strength target. Every step toward your vision builds your kingly resolve. It's your compass when the world tries to pull you off course. Principle 3. Master your emotions. Don't serve them. Jung saw emotions as signals, not masters. A weak man is a slave to his feelings. Anger makes him lash out. Fear makes him shrink. Desire makes him chase. A king feels deeply, but acts deliberately. He uses emotions as data. Angry? Ask why. Scared? Pinpoint the threat. Attracted? Weigh the cost. This is emotional alchemy, turning raw feelings into refined decisions. Practice this. Next time you're upset, pause. Breathe for 10 seconds. Name the emotion and its cause. A 2019 study on mindfulness showed this cuts emotional reactivity by 30%. Then choose your response. If a coworker disrespects you, don't yell. Address it calmly, firmly. If a goal feels out of reach, don't quit. Break it down. Kings don't ride emotional waves, they steer through them. That's power. Principle 4. Build your inner council. Jung's archetypes, like the warrior, sage, or lover, are parts of your psyche. A weak man lets one dominate, like a warrior who's all aggression, or a lover who's all neediness. A king integrates them, creating a mental council. The warrior gives you courage, the sage wisdom, the lover connection, the king authority. How do you do this? Visualize these parts. When facing a challenge, ask, what would my warrior do? My sage? My lover? Then, as the king, decide. Say you're pitching a project. Your warrior pushes you to be bold, your sage to be clear, your lover to connect with the audience. The king blends them, delivering a pitch that's confident, sharp, and engaging. A 2021 study on decision-making found balanced perspectives improve outcomes by 20%. Your inner counsel makes you adaptable, whole, and commanding. Principle 5. Act with unwavering responsibility. Jung believed a man's purpose is to bring order to chaos, starting with himself. A weak man dodges blame, makes excuses, or waits for permission. A king takes ownership of his choices, his failures, his life. If you mess up, admit it. If a task needs doing, do it. If others look to you, lead. This isn't about control, it's about duty. In The Prince, Machiavelli echoes this. A ruler's power comes from decisive action. A 2022 study on leadership showed that taking responsibility increases trust by 35%. Be the man who steps up. If your team's project fails, don't point fingers. Analyze what went wrong and fix it. If your relationship struggles, don't sulk. Initiate the hard talk. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's your crown. Why does this mindset matter? Because the world is chaos. People are fickle, challenges are relentless, and weakness is punished. Jung's king archetype isn't a fantasy. It's a psychological blueprint for thriving. Weak men are tossed by life's storms. Kings navigate them. They don't just survive, they shape their world. A 2017 study on resilience found that purpose-driven people handle stress 50% better. Thinking like a king doesn't just make you powerful, it makes you unbreakable. Let's talk traps. The biggest is ignoring your shadow. Pretending you're above anger or fear makes you fragile. Face it, or it controls you. Another, chasing external validation. A king's purpose comes from within, not from applause. Don't let likes, promotions, or women define you. Also, avoid emotional slavery. Letting feelings dictate your actions, snapping, quitting, obsessing, strips your power. And don't shy from responsibility. Dodging hard choices feels safe, but leaves you small. Finally, don't go it alone. Jung stressed community. Your inner council needs real allies. Surround yourself with men who push you to grow. How do you start? Today, try shadow work. Journal about a recent failure or emotional outburst. What triggered it? What does it reveal? Next, define your vision. Write one goal that fires you up. Be specific. If it's wealth, name a number. If it's health, pick a milestone. Break it into 3 steps you can take this month. For emotions, practice the pause. Next time you're heated, count to 10 before acting. Ask what's driving you. To build your counsel, visualize your archetypes daily. Before a big moment, consult them mentally. And take one responsibility you've avoided. Fix a mistake, lead a task, have a tough talk. Do it now. Small wins build the king's mind. Let's get practical. Shadow work takes 10 minutes a day. Sit quietly, reflect on a moment you weren't proud of. Write it down. What was the emotion? The root? Over time, you'll spot patterns. For vision, keep a note on your phone with your goal and steps. Check it morning and night. Emotional mastery grows with habit. Use a trigger like a deep breath to pause before reacting. Your inner counsel can be a mental ritual before decisions. Ask each archetype's perspective, then decide as king. Responsibility starts with ownership. Every day, pick one thing: your work, your health, your relationships, and act like you're the only one who can make it right. You are. This isn't about ego. Jung's king isn't a tyrant, he's a servant to purpose. He leads because he must, not because he craves power. Your kindness, your courage, your wisdom, they're gifts, but only if you wield them with strength. A weak man's goodness is exploited. A king's goodness inspires. Think of it like a fire. Uncontrolled, it destroys. Directed, it lights the way. Your mind is that fire. Shape it. Why does this hit so hard? Because you're tested daily. At work, in relationships, in your own head. Weak men bend under pressure, chasing comfort or approval. Kings rise. They face the chaos, doubt, rejection, failure, and impose order. A 2020 study on mental toughness showed that purpose-driven people are 40% less likely to burn out. The king's psychology isn't just about winning. It's about enduring. It's about being the man others turn to when the storm hits. Let's address fear. You might worry this mindset makes you cold. It doesn't. A king feels deeply. He just doesn't let feelings rule. You might fear responsibility, thinking it's too heavy. It's not. It's liberating. Owning your life frees you from others' control. You might fear your shadow, thinking it makes you bad. It doesn't. It makes you human. Jung said the shadow holds your greatest potential. Tap it. And if you fear failure, know this. Every king stumbles. Jung failed, revised, grew. A 2021 study on growth mindsets found that embracing failure boosts success by 30%. Your missteps are your forge. How do you sustain this? Build rituals. Shadow work weekly. Sunday nights, reflect on your week's lows. Vision daily. Read your goal each morning. Emotional pauses become second nature with practice. Your inner counsel grows stronger the more you consult it. Responsibility is a muscle. Flex it by owning one hard choice a day. Surround yourself with strong men. A 2019 study on social influence showed that your closest 5 friends shape 60% of your behavior. Choose allies who live with purpose, not excuses. This is bigger than you. Jung's king archetype isn't just personal, it's universal. Every society needs men who lead, who bring order, who stand firm. Your family, your team, your community, they're watching. A weak man lets them down, chasing his own comfort. A king lifts them up, even when it costs him. That's legacy, that's impact, that's the psychology of the king. One final truth. Power isn't loud. It's not flexing or shouting. It's quiet certainty. It's knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going. Jung's king thinks with purpose because he's done the work, faced his shadow, set his vision, mastered his emotions, balanced his psyche, owned his duty. That work is your crown. Wear it. Do me a favor. Share this with a brother who's drifting, chasing validation, or stuck in chaos. A friend who needs to think like a king. Help him find his purpose. Subscribe if you're done thinking small and ready to forge a mind of power. Stay sharp, stay purposeful, stay valorous. The moment you think like a king is the moment you live like one.